Of News and Views is brought to you by Africa Muslims Agency. We still have got fired up coming up with Hafiz Imran Chunara, but we are now going to be switching focus on Hajj and the Nusuk system. And Salam Media, from time to time, will be conducting discussions, interviews with regard to the Nusuk system. We know that many people have already started logging on to the Nusuk system. They've been using the system. Many questions have actually been asked, and we know that there are certain deadlines. So we will be taking a look at the Nusuk system in the build up to Hajj with players both locally and also internationally in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, this morning we are talking with Mohammed Mia and Ruwaida Kotwal from Khidmatul A'waam, just talking briefly about the Nusuk system reshaping the South African Hajj experience. Both our guests are online right now. Brother Muhammad Mia, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and also to you, Sister Ruwaida Kotwal, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to both of you, and Jazakallah for your time.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To the respected listeners of Salam Media and our heartfelt thanks to Salam Media for giving us this opportunity. Thanks so much.
Yes, I'd like to actually focus, Brother Mohammed, on Khidmatul Awam and also just understanding your role as far as the Nusuk system is concerned.
Shukran jazilan, jazakallah khair. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah, for the past 17 years, Khidmatul A'waam as a non-profit organization has served the Hujjaj of South Africa, and obviously we have made Hajj affordable as possible. Alhamdulillah, I think as we proceed, we are all well aware that we are migrating to the Nusuk system, which is not ideal, but however, we have to embrace the system here in itself because it's a new process and it digitized, and the whole world is moving towards the system here itself. In terms of the system itself, obviously, in terms of guidelines with Hajj Ministry now, that means Khidmatul A'waam as an organization or any other organization that did Hajj before in South Africa cannot advertise or market Hajj directly. So that means obviously you have to utilize the services of a service provider. Alhamdulillah, I think it is with great pleasure that first of all we announce that we have partnered with Rawaf Mina, which is a leading service provider and which has a quota that has been given by the Hajj Ministry of 9,500, which is the highest in terms of quotas given to any service provider in South Africa. Obviously, that will bring some ease to the Hujjaj of South Africa, that we have used somebody that has service Hujjaj and that has an excellent record. Based on this, obviously, as Khidmatul A'waam now won't be permissible, any service operator won't be permissible to market this. The service provider wants you to utilize guides. And I think we are honored as Khidmatul A'waam to appoint our leading guide, which is Sister Ruwaida, who has served Hujjaj over various years, has been the Amira of Medina, has held different positions in the company, manages the offices, has a good and vast knowledge in terms of logistical processes, and the Hujjaj can be reassured they're in safe hands. So Sister Ruwaida will be the leading guide for Khidmatul A'waam. What that obviously, Hajj is a sacred journey. And obviously, we have a leading group of ulama that will partner with Sister Ruwaida, and obviously, they will obviously assist and guide our Hujjaj, taking into the spiritually uplifting journey to make sure Allah grant them Hajj Maqbool and Hajj Maqbool, inshallah.
Jazakallah for that, Sister Ruwaida, and Brother Mohammed mentioned that obviously you are going to be the leading guide. Just to understand where you are coming from and what would your role as a guide be?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Inayat, and Assalamu alaikum to the listeners of Salam Media. Shukran Mohammed for those kind words. So our understanding and with the arrangement and the agreement that we've reached in the collaboration with Rawaf Mina, the role of a guide is twofold. In South Africa, we are to assist the prospective Hujjaj for 2026 with the processes of registration, guidance, supporting them to understand the system. It's a new platform for them here in South Africa. B2C Direct Hajj is new to South Africa, and obviously the transition from the old system where the Haji was previously accredited by Sahuk, and thereafter all travel arrangements were afforded by the operator of choice. In this instance, the Haji himself has to go and create his profile and register for the upcoming Hajj. And obviously, the system is unknown, and obviously we will help these Hujjaj to navigate through the system, understand the system. So primarily, here in South Africa, our role is to ensure that the registration process up to the process of purchasing the package on the day it goes live, we will give guidance and support as a guide or for Rawaf Mina. As
Well,
a guide on, sorry?
yes, sister. In fact, I want to actually just come back to the packages, but just before that, Brother Mohammed, we know that one of the biggest talking points in South Africa has been the quota system, and we've also learned of the reduction as far as the quota for South African Hujjaj is concerned as well. And I'm certain, I think, for South Africa, that our entire quota will be utilized, considering that the number is pretty small. But just in the event, and just perhaps, from your understanding on how this entire quota system works in terms of utilization or also non-utilization of the quota system.
I think that's a very important question that you have raised, and obviously it's the back of a lot of prospective Hujjaj mind himself. So we understand under the old dispensation, under South itself, obviously, they were given a quota of 2,500, and now it has reduced actually to almost 1,114. We take note just for information, but that's far that on the Nusuk system itself, in excess of 12,000 people from South Africa has registered. So there's an oversubscription of almost 10 times the amount. And if you look at the entire world, it means almost 450,000 people have registered on a Nusuk system.
Yes, I think Brother Mohammed is frozen. Sister Ruwaida, would you just like to take that discussion just a bit further?
Brother Inayat, could you just repeat your
Nusuk
question?
system itself.
Okay, I
On a
see. I see. Brother Mohammed is back. Sorry, he froze. Brother Mohammed, sorry, we just lost you there. If you could just repeat what you said.
Should I go back to, all right,
Yeah,
from
you
now to
mentioned
hello?
about 12,000 people have registered, and you can
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it from there.
So 12,000 people in total have registered, like I say. There's an oversubscription of almost 10 times the amount of the quota that we have been given. And you look at the entire world in itself, that means almost 450,000 people have registered. And there's an oversubscription of almost 7 or 8 times the amount that in terms of the total that's given for the entire world combined itself. So there'll be a date, obviously, where these packages will be released, which the indicative date is obviously 3rd of January. This is subject to change. And there and beyond that, people will be able to look at this package, and there'll be a date, obviously, where they'll be able to buy the packages online. So on that date, it doesn't matter if you have performed or you haven't performed Hajj or your first time Hajj. If you haven't verified on the Nusuk system, you'll have this opportunity of buying these packages. It will be on a first come, first served basis. So whoever is online and who has that opportunity and whoever has chosen those packages, they'll be eligible to purchase the packages. Dr. Ruwaida will probably brief people further on the process in terms of what it is and how the packages will operate in itself. So I think this is something of a challenge, and ultimately, when the call is there and Allah will call those that are different.
Yes, let's just bring Sister Ruwaida back into the discussion. Sister Ruwaida, let's just talk about the packages, because we are going to be moving away from the traditional advertising of packages as we've seen over a period of time, but also just to understand these packages, are they limited to South Africa only, or are we talking about packages that are universal, that will apply to all who are on the Nusuk system?
Okay, so in terms of the um, packages that will go live on the system from the 12 accredited service provider companies are open to all and sundry. Anybody who reaches that stage of having the e-wallets with sufficient funds, the day the packages go live, anyone can secure their package. However, as South Africa, we have a unique market. And that being the case, we have discussed extensively with our service provider company to try and accommodate our market by designing a few packages with a South African flavor. So that being said, we will advertise those packages and we will encourage our Hujjaj to take on the packages because traditionally the Nusuk offered packages that only started from the 25th of Zilqa'dah, and we have managed to get them to start packages a little earlier, knowing that South Africans like to spend at least 9 nights in Medina to get 40 works. So they have the choice on the day the packages go live to select, they have the choice of selecting the packages as soon as the browsing period opens. The browsing period, subject to change, is set to go live on the 4th of January. And all the service providers will upload their packages under 5 categories. And the Haji can see what package is suitable to him and what package he will try and choose. You're going to have your standard economy, you will have premium, premium shifting, premium not shifting, you will have luxury shifting, non-shifting. So these will be varied and it will be in variance of different hotels, different standard of hotels in Makkah, Medina, different length of time in Makkah, Medina, moving to Azizia, not moving to Azizia. So there will be a lot of choices. The Haji has a month to navigate through these packages, see what suits his needs and his budget, inshallah. And then he can put this into his shopping cart and configure his package. And at the end of the day, there will be a total that will come up, a sum that he needs to put into his e-wallet to be ready for the day these packages go live.
Jazakallah for clarifying that issue, Sister Ruwaida. But Brother Mohammed, again, I know South Africans, and I'm sure right across the entire world, if you are a prospective Haji, you want to have some indication from a budgetary perspective as well. And I think this is important to understand that, does a prospective Haji have prior knowledge as to what sort of budget he would be looking at?
Yeah, I think it's good again what you have indicated because people have to plan and budget. And previously, I think in our previous years, that obviously people have funds in investments and they need them to mature. So obviously, this is an indicative amount. That probably the most economical package or basic package, I would so call it. Doesn't mean as in basic, because obviously, as Minister is up there, standard in terms of providing services via the Nusuk system. So in terms of economy, that's almost about 3 to 4 weeks. So like I say, you're going to budget from about 23.5 to 26,000 riyals. That's excluding your airfare. So an indicator always that assuming a change rate is a bit stronger, better now, but assuming at 5, so it's about 130,000 rand. And obviously, depending on the airfare and the time you return, it could average anything from 22 to 27,000 rand for the airfare. All this is booked via the Nusuk system. That means the Haji hasn't got any option of booking the airfare independently. It will reflect on the system itself on that day via a group booking or ultimately via the GDS system, which you'll be permitted to book. So you have to book this all when you're booking your packaging itself. And obviously, even on that day when you're booking your package, you'll take heed that one will be the package, the other will be the camp that you'll be choosing. So there's 2 types of camps. The one is in close proximity to the Jamarat, and the other one is which we always call the special services, and the other one is about 4 kilometers from the Jamarat itself. We will have these 2 options, and there'll be a price difference between the two. But the price I'm quoting now is inclusive of the camp fees for the one that is not placed near the Jamarat, that is about 4 kilos away. So I think that will give a bit of an indication. The package could vary from, like I say, from about 23,000 riyals to about 40,000 riyals, depending on the duration, where you want to stay, what type of hotel you want to stay, full stay in Makkah, like how Ruwaida has indicated and advised of judge, depending on what your needs and your requirements are.
Jazakallah for that, Brother Mohammed. Sister Ruwaida, just finally, looking at Rawaf, what will Rawaf do in South Africa?
Okay, so as we have been selected as the guides for Rawaf, we will then be promoting them, promoting their packages, giving Hujaj advice as to what Rawaf can offer them as a service provider company. Obviously, we have studied this extensively. And inshallah, we are happy with their record, the reviews on their services. And based on that, we will give them as much coverage and marketing exposure as needed so that South Africans can be confident in their choice of selecting Rawaf as their service provider for Hajj 2026.
Well, Jazakallah khairan so much for that, Brother Muhammad and Sister Ruwaida, for taking time out with us on Salam Media this
Yeah,
morning.
very nice. Sorry, yeah.
Gee,
Sorry, now, can I just do a closing in itself? I think it's possible, please.
please,
Allow me.
quickly, please, Brother Muhammad.
No, no, I'm answering right. I think as Khidmatul A'waam as an organization that has been there, obviously we will continue to strive with our guides that are there to offer the best possible service on the basis that obviously as a non-profit organization that serves the pilgrims of South Africa, that means obviously Hajj obviously in itself, it is commercialized in itself, people entitled to getting some sort of funds, inshallah. And from those funds that our guides receive, we as Khidmatul A'waam have looked at it and said that whatever we receive a portion of it, any of those who judge that choose us, we will reimburse and basically forward those funds, a portion of it back to the judge upon their return, subject to us meeting the minimum requirement. Inshallah ta'ala. I think Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khairan so much. I'm sure there will be a lot further discussion over a period of time. And as I mentioned right at the beginning, Salam Media will continue providing regular updates. So, inshallah, at some point in time, we will be touching base. But for now, to both of you, Jazakallah khairan for your time. Have yourself also a great Jummah. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam, and thanks for the
Walaikum
opportunity again.
salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mohammed Mia and Ruwaida Kotwal with us this morning as we take a look at the Nusuk system and how this is going to reshape the Hajj experience. We're going to go for a break. We come back. There's a lot more to talk about. Shahrazad Akbar is standing by.